Hi everyone, my name is Eunice and I'm gonna give you a slow flow yin yoga practice. So we're gonna start on your back. In this mindful yin slow flow, you're going to do a chilled out practice today, some easy movements and some breath work, of course. We're also gonna do some muscle activation and deep stretching. What I mean by that is instead of passively sitting in your joints, will lead you into a lovely way to activate the muscles, then go into this deep releasing stretches. So I'll lead you through a different way to do yin today, to strengthen your joint capsules and to get a little stronger in the muscle rather than weakening the ligaments. And also my theme today is about self-study. So as you hold your stretches, I will go through a few things on Svadhyaya, self-study. So lying comfortable on your back, perhaps you can bring the soles of your feet onto the mat, knees towards the ceiling. And maybe your arms can be by your side or a T-shape, and close your eyes now and begin to relax as you sink into the mat. Be as comfortable as you can. Feel as if your bones are becoming heavier. Your spine sinking down. And just feel the weight of your head as it's being held for a while. Your neck muscle relax. Just let go and breathe. And perhaps you feel like you're feeling the support from the floor, the earth. Feel how it comes up to support you, to nurture you. And just continue to breathe from your abdomen to your chest and all the way back. 3 more breaths. One more breath. Good, we're gonna start the movement when you're ready, like a windshield wiper. Make your feet wide as the mat. And drop your knees to one side and then to the other. Slow breathing and allow your body to breathe with warmth and relaxation, and move the head in opposite sides to the knees if that's possible for you. Soften to receive these soft movements. One more time now. And when you're ready, come back to center, just feeling this relaxed feeling, and come into Shavasana where your legs are straight out, arms by your side. So we're going to come into what's called Banana Asana now. So we're going to stretch the right side body first. So you're going to take both. So if you have any kind of injury in your shoulder, you're going to take some support if need be. And both legs to the left side of your mat, and arms above your head to the left. Maybe you hold your wrist, maybe not. We're going to do a little activation here. So keep the left hip down on the mat. And we're going to activate by really extending and lengthening and flexing the feet a little bit more. And maybe you cross the ankles, activate. Stretch, feel it in the whole right side body. One more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, just surrender into the pose. You're still in that, but you're not activating the muscle, you're just surrendering now. So the Bhagavad Gita said yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. So our Svadhyaya, the self-study, Svat meaning own self, or the human soul, and Adhyaya meaning like lesson, lecture, or reading. So the self-study is a study of the self with a capital S. It's who you really are. There's also the other self. In our self-study includes the egoic self, which is personality, false identity, and that's considered the smallest. So both are important and essential. But we'll discuss this as we continue our practice, so just take 3 breaths. Big belly breaths. Exhale. 2 more like that. One more breath. And when you're ready, come back to center. We're going to go straight to the opposite side. We're going to stretch the left side body now. So both legs, take it over to the right side of your mat. Arms above your head. Maybe you hold your left wrist and activate. Keep that right hip down. Again, let's do some activation by really extending and lengthening and flex the feet a little bit more and cross the ankles. Activate more. Inhale. And as you exhale, surrender to the pose now on this side. Breathe. Coming back to our study of the self. So here's the thing, the study of the small self. It's our conditioning, the limiting beliefs, perceptions, and projections. We kind of absorbed all of this, often during our first few years of our lives. Also our habitual patterns that are lodged in our subconscious and run on autopilot with no conscious choice. Or egoic fears, or feelings of lack, limitation, and disconnection. And we bring these conditioned patterns and behaviors into the light of our awareness. We tend to hear them out, name them, understand them, and create choices. So it is important for us to study how this conditioning has affected us in every aspect of our lives. For example, with money, with work, relationships, the way we treat others, the way we treat ourselves and the earth. So this self-study is incredibly useful at changing our habitual patterns. At a certain point, it's important to see that all of this conditioning, to notice these conditionings, and to know it's not who you are. Let's take 3 breaths. One more breath. When you're ready, come back to center. We're going to go into a little flow with a bridge pose and then the knees up from side to side. So when you're ready, we're going to activate in this bridge. Soles of the feet on the mat. Lift your hips up. The front body. Lift up. Open your throat a little bit. Bring the chest up, but open the throat to get a little space for your throat. And then slowly feel the hips and spine coming down. And then bring both knees into your chest and take both knees over to the left, not all the way to the floor. Bring the right knee up, followed by the left, back to center. Take both knees over to the right, not all the way. And then bring the left knee up, right knee to follow. Bring the soles of the feet back onto the mat and come into your bridge pose. Activating a little bit. And then back down, back to your knees up, then drop over to the left. Maybe you go a little bit deeper this time, right knee up, followed by the left. Take it over to the right, left knee up, followed by the right. Come back with the soles of the feet on the mat for another bridge pose. Come back down. We're going to go again. Knees up. Take it over to the left. Right knee up, followed by the left. Take it over to the right. Left knee up, followed by the right. Come back to center. And one last bridge pose. Press the feet into the mat. Lift up. Open up the space for your throat. Lift your chest. And then slowly come back down. And this time you come into Shavasana, and just be aware of your body. Take one breath. The next pose we're going to go into is number 4. In Sanskrit is Janupadasana 1. So what you're going to do is take your left ankle to your right thigh, square off your hips. And again, we're going to start with a little activation. So you're going to come up, your head up, your arms forward, your core is engaged, your fingertips lengthening. You're going to activate, hold and squeeze and activate, and then come all the way back down. You're still in that figure 4. Good. You're going to do 2 more like that. Inhale to lift everything up. Engage your core. Fingertips forward. Good. And then exhale, come back down. 1 more like that. Maybe you come up a little bit higher. Maybe not. And then come all the way back down. And as you're lying back in your figure 4, we're going to come into what's called thread the needle. So you're going to take your left hand will go into that space you've created, and the right hand comes around either behind the hamstring or in front of your left shin. So it's interlaced. Now your right leg come off the mat, and you start to activate again by flexing the feet, engaging the knees. Left knee out to the left side. Right knee comes towards you. You're activating, you're flexing, you're feeling. Flex both feet, squeeze. Take a breath in, breath out. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, just relax. Keep the leg up, but relax the activation and hold there in the warmth, energy in the hip and the lower back. Breathe. Notice, what does it feel like to let go of tension? We're going to take 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale, exhale. 1 more breath. Good. And now we're going to stay in the figure 4. We're going to do a little figure 4 bridge if that's available to you. So press into the foot, come all the way up, lift, open up the throat. Slowly, slowly, slowly exhale down. Good. Figure 4 twist. So this time we're going to keep that figure 4 and then take it from side to side. Both knees over to the right, both knees over to the left. Just a couple more on each side. And when you're ready, take both knees over to the right and place your right knee down on the floor, and your left knee faces the ceiling. And sometimes it's helpful to put a block underneath that foot, so you get onto the block onto the sole, or a towel or whatever you have onto the sole of the left foot, to get that space to bring the left side of your hip back. Keep your right knee still. Keep it down and try to bring the left hip back a little bit more. Hold there, relax and breathe. We're staying into this twist for a little bit more. Coming back to a little self-study. Here's the thing, yoga teaches us to look within. Whenever you are emotionally affected by something that happens in your life, might be an idea to turn within. When you become aware that you're triggered, perhaps bring your awareness to your body and the physical sensations you're experiencing. And sometimes once we let our emotions feel, when we let ourselves feel the emotions, our life force energy is freed and we experience dropping below the story of the mind. We can come into sensation. What is the emotion you're experiencing right now? Just allow yourself to feel it fully. Perhaps you give your emotions an expression. And maybe you notice all the ways you distract yourself from feeling your emotions. And come back to center now when you're ready, and take both knees over to the left. And if your left knee needs to come off the thigh, then do so. If not, just stay there, soften, stay, breathe. Stay in this twist on the opposite side. So when we allow ourselves to feel what we've been trying so hard not to feel, we realize it's not nearly as big or terrible. We kind of allow ourselves to be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. Your vulnerability gives others permission to be vulnerable. So it's okay to share your vulnerability with someone, an ally who can support you. It's a gift to share your vulnerability. So this level of self-reflection can bring massive changes and reconstructing of our sense of identity. But for now, let's be gentle with ourselves and take 3 breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. 2 more like that. One more breath. And then come back to center when you're ready. On cross, we're going to do that whole Janupadasana number 4 series on the opposite side. So when you're ready, right ankle to left thigh, square off the hips. The first thing is we're going to activate. So let's begin with the activation. So please come up and lift your leg off the mat. Core is engaged. Arms forward, fingertips forward. Lengthen up. Lift the heart a little bit more. Activate and come back down. You're going to do that twice more. Take your time. Inhale. Exhale to lift up. Let's do a different breath. Exhale, hold, squeeze, engage, lengthen. Inhale brings you back down. One more time. Let's activate. Bring it up. Stretch. Breathe. And come back down. You're still in that figure 4. Let's thread the needle. So the right hand goes to the space you've created. The left hand around behind the hamstring or in front of your shin. Interlaced. With your left leg off the mat, we're going to start again with some activation by flexing the feet, engaging the knees, right knee to right side, left knee towards you. Use that elbow to activate. Press into the knees and it comes forward. You squeeze, keeping that thread the needle, squeeze, breathe. Feel the activation. Take another breath in. And when you exhale, stay in the posture but release the activation. Again, you might feel this warm energy in the hip, the lower back. Perhaps you are asking yourself, or maybe you're just curious, or you notice what's happening in your body. What does it feel like to let go of tension? Take one more breath. And then come back to center. We're going to do a figure 4 bridge. If you feel up to it, take a figure 4 bridge. Slowly come back down. Figure 4 twist. So we're going to twist from side to side a few times. Take both knees over to the left. And then come back up one knee at a time. Take it over to the right. Some from side to side. You keep the figure 4, but you take the knees one side and then the other. Couple more times. Good, and then take the knees over to the left. Left knee on the floor, right knee points towards the ceiling. Again, the sole of the right foot can be on the floor. Sometimes it's helpful to put a block or some sort of prop under the sole of the right foot to get that space, to bring the right side of your hip back, like if you're squaring off the hips, by trying to bring that right hip back a little bit more. Here it's only a twist. You're gonna relax, you're gonna breathe, you're gonna surrender back to our self-study. Perhaps we can entertain the possibility that we can tolerate any uncertainty and learn to be okay with discomfort and the unknown. So when we can tolerate this state of uncertainty for long enough, we kind of train ourselves to stay with a new pattern. And eventually we can reintegrate with this new pattern. Something to think about. Let's take 3 breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one more breath. And now come back to center. Now twist to the right. And again, if it's not easy to keep the keep it on the right ankle on the left thigh, just simply release and stay in the twist, or stay where you are, both knees on the floor. We're staying here for the twist and breathe just like we did on the opposite side. Again, let go, let be. Perhaps you go within and just observe what sensation comes up for you. You can shift out of victim consciousness, and you can take radical responsibility. And perhaps you can own part of or all of your experience. Let's take 3 breaths again. Inhale. Make it deeper, longer, flowy breath. Exhale. You've got 2 more. One more breath. And then come back to center. Uncross. Take it all the way down into Shavasana. Notice how you feel, how your body feels. One more breath. And now you're gonna hug your knees and you're gonna rock up a few times, back and forth, massaging the spine a little bit. And then the next time you rock up, cross your shins and then release to all 4s. A few cat-cows. Inhale to arch the spine, broaden the collarbones, maybe look up. Exhale to round and tuck under. 2 more like that. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, cat. And then tuck your toes under, keep your chin tucked under, come into your first downward facing dog. A nice kind of crouching down dog. Take it easy. Pedal it out, walk it out. come into a little vinyasa, slow plank forward. Maybe drop the knees, come down. A little baby cobra. And we meet back in downward facing dog. You still need to walk it out, do so, pedal it out. And then come down onto all fours and back, sitting back onto your heels. We're going to come into a little back bend. So take your hands close to your hips, lift your sternum, drop your head back, and perhaps you take your knees off the mat a little bit and lean back, a little back bend. Good. Come back and be back to all fours. Another cat-cow. Inhale to cat-cow, exhale to cat. One more round from cat and come all the way back to downward facing dog. See if you can melt your heels down. Perhaps you bring the energy to the back of your legs. Maybe you still need to bend your knees. Back to a slow plank. And then breathe out to downward facing dog. One more breath. And then melt your knees down, sit back on your heels again with your arms back this time. We're going to do a little back bend again. So easy, effortless in action. Take the arms back, lift up, open up your chest, a little camel pose, back bend. Open up the heart. And then slowly come back, sit back on your heels and then come back onto all fours. We're back to cat-cow again. Just as you do this, feel the body nice and long. Then we come back into downward facing dog, melting the heels down slowly, steady. Back into plank pose, come all the way down, the whole body on the mat. We're going to come into Sphinx pose now, elbows and forearms down onto the floor. So the elbows are close underneath your shoulders, fingertips forward. You're going to lift your heart up, open up. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your chin to throat, coil all the way back down to the mat and look for your navel. And activate and inhale to radiate out. And exhale to coil under, looking for your navel. One more like that. Inhale, lift, open, lift your heart, exhale, coil under, look for your navel. Good. Come back into your Sphinx, release the activation, stay in Sphinx just for a few breaths. Always noticing your breath. Just watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habit. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, for they become your destiny. One more breath. And then come back to all fours, onto your knees, and then into downward facing dog. This time, walk your hands to the back of the mat and feet are hip distance apart, hands to the shins. Draw your belly in, shin engage, as if you've got a yoga block and you're squeezing it. Push your tailbone back, your shoulder blades back, feel the hamstring. Lengthen. Maybe your neck can be long. And then exhale. Come into all the way into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Just receive the stillness and the healing that happens there in Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax the brain. Feel as if there's a loving kindness to yourself. Stay there for one more breath. Then slowly, slowly roll up to standing. Come into Tadasana mountain pose. So you're going to lift your heart over your hips, over your knees, over your ankles, palms open. One more breath. Now we're going to come into a chair pose, but the arms are going back. So Utkatasana, sink the hips, take the arms back into chair. Keep the hands behind. We're going to come into a little flow here where we're going to bring the right knee up and the arms up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to take the right leg back into a Warrior 3 Dekasana variation. The bottom knee can be bent a little bit. And then inhale, come back up, bring the right knee to chest, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, take it back into your Warrior 3 variation. Last time, inhale to bring the knees up, arms up. Exhale to go back, trust yourself and drop a little bit deeper. And this time as you inhale, you come up. The right leg meets the left at the mat, mountain pose. One more breath. Good, now lift the arms up and swan dive all the way down. One half lift flat back, exhale bow. And walk your hands all the way forward to downward facing dog. Maybe you need to move a little bit, maybe you're okay in still dog. Good, then bring the knees down to the floor. Cat-cow. From there, a slow plank till all the body comes down into the mat. We're doing another Sphinx session again, Sphinx pose. So forearms down, elbows underneath the shoulders, fingertips pulling the mat back, lift the heart, radiate out and up. And then maybe you tuck the chin in and you squeeze and look for your navel and activate. Coil under, engage the energy in the belly as you coil under. Inhale to radiate out. Exhale to coil in. You've got one more like that. Inhale and exhale. Good, come back now into Sphinx. And maybe some of you stay here, some of you might come into a little seal pose. So fan out the fingers, straighten the elbows, come up, squeeze the elbows back, expand your chest. Push up a little bit higher. Extending with ease and openness. One more breath. Exhale, come down. And then we make our way into downward facing dog. Now walk your hands back to the back of the mat. Half lift, lengthen, flat back. And again, drop down into that forward fold. Again, Uttanasana, slipping beneath the worldly thoughts. Grant your body some space for a little while. Just to be open and free, calm and spaciousness. As if you're bringing your hips over the knees, over the ankles, soften. One more breath. Slowly come up to Tadasana. One vertebra, head is vertebra by vertebra, head is last. And then feel the groundingness. Breathe. Your feet planted, all 4 parts of the feet into the mat. So we're going to do the opposite side now. So into our chair pose with the hands behind. Sink down. We do the left side now. So as you inhale, you come up, left knee up towards the chest, both arms to the ceiling. And then you take the left leg back into your warrior 3 variation. Arms back. Good, come back up. Inhale, knees up, arms up. Exhale, take it back. Find that balance. You've got one more set. Inhale. And as you exhale, feel that center of gravity dropping. The bottom knee can be a little bit bent. Feel the warrior go a little bit deeper. Play the edge a little bit. And then next time you come up, the left leg meets the right in mountain pose. Take a breath. Take the arms overhead, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, bow. Walk your hands out into downward facing dog. And when you're ready, knees to the floor, cat-cow. A slow plank pose to the earth. An up dog or a cobra. And back to downward facing dog. Good, now the right leg to the air. Inhale, take the right leg high. And exhale, bring it forward. Bring the back heel down. Warrior 2. Coming to the side of your mat. We're going to do a little flow here in Warrior 2. So press into the feet. Look for that alignment. Heel, arch, arms. Looking forward. Arms are strong. Belly in. Good. I'm going to straighten the legs up and then bend into the knees again. Inhale, straighten and bend. You've got one more. Inhale to straighten, exhale to bend. Come back, finding your warrior 2 again. We're going to go into a little side angle. And hold with the elbows on the thigh. And switch on the muscle. Light activation, hug in the legs, open up the chest, feel the spine open up. You're opening up to a new body. One more slow breath and let the effort go, stay there. Breathe. And then inhale to come up and you go to a little reversed warrior. Come back up, turn all the way to the front, come back onto all fours. And then come into a little down dog just for a move around a little bit, back to all fours. And then come all the way down on your belly for a shoulder and hip twist. So right arm out to the right side, left leg crosses over, you roll to the right. The left knee can then bend or stay across the body. A few more breaths. Roll when you're ready. Feel that shoulder stretch, that hip stretch. One more breath. And then roll back onto your belly. And then come into a child's pose. And just breathe. From child's pose, just come up, sit on your heels and bring the arms back. Turn the palms up, squeeze, come up onto your knees, standing on your knees for another camel back bend. But both arms behind. Maybe you go back a little bit further. And then coming back again, sitting on your heels. Square off the hips. And just take your right arm underneath your left in an eagle pose. We're going to activate. Let's activate. Pulling the eagle apart. Squeeze the shoulders in and take a breath in and still doing the activation. And then lift the chest muscle and the belly retract. Feel that resistance. Feel what the belly receives and the mind can retract. Pull it apart a little bit more, but breathing freely. And then release the activation and stay and breathe. And notice how you feel. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. 1 more breath. Then release the arms up in the air and then onto your belly again for a little cobra, but wide shoulders this time. So bring the arms wider than your shoulders and come up to a cobra pose all the way up. Squeeze the elbows back. Lift up. Engage your belly. Pull the arms back, elbows back, and squeeze. And then come all the way back down. 1 more back bend here. A locust. So take the arms back, legs back, lift the chest, lift the arms, lift the legs, turning on the muscle group, switching on the back body, point your toes, hold, breathe, stay, and release. We're back on all fours. So with all fours, you're going to take your right leg behind, all the way behind. Now bend your right knee. And then open the hips, so take it across to the left side and turn to the left shoulder to look at your foot. And open up the hips more. And then bring it and cross behind of the left knee into shoelace. But we're going to do a little activation, just like we've been doing. Fingertips to the floor in front. And we do a little like a cow cat movement again. Inhale, the fingertips forward, lift up. Exhale, go back, but not all the way back. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, go back a little further. Pulling the thighs together and apart, just like we did with the arms. Just like we did with the eagle arms, we keep this eagle activation in the leg. The inner ankles in the air, feel the glute muscles engaged. And then this last time, you sink all the way back and relax more. As you relax, you either stay upright, or if you can, you're gonna bring your body forward, head relax. Relax into a deep state. The head is heavy. The mind finds a natural state. Super healing state. You're also getting stability to your hip joint. And you're having a soft belly breath. Back to our self-study. So we need to bring ourselves in a place of self-awareness. Knowing ourselves. Accepting all parts of ourselves. Bringing all parts into the light within. You are the teacher, your own greatest guide, your greatest healer, the guru within you. Just focus deep inside. We're going for 3 breaths. When you're ready, inhale, exhale. 2 more like that. Go deeper with the breath. 1 more breath. Good. And then you're going to come on cross, come back onto all fours, however you can. Then back into downward facing dog. Walk it out, move it around a little bit, move the legs. Good. And when you're ready, a slow plank pose, and the whole body comes lying on your tummy. And on your tummy, the left knee comes over to the left, bent to the left side of your body on the floor. The right arm underneath the shoulder, and the top arm gonna come down on the floor so you get palm on palm. Then the top arm comes over into a twist. So let's do a little muscle activation again. So the long leg that's on the floor, flex it. The top knee, bring it towards up to the ceiling and back to the floor, the resistance. Press your shoulder blades into the mat. Feel that resistance. Activate top knee a little bit more. Resisting the movement. Fingers out, feel the activation. Good, and then become passive and still. Keep your arms into the twist. Completely relax. Receive this pose. We're going to stay here for a few minutes and let the mind find the natural freedom. Perhaps you can take a 4-part breathing here, the square breath. Inhale for 4 counts. Retain for 4. Exhale for 4 counts. Suspend the breath for 4 counts. 2 more like that. One more breath. And then you're going to make your way back to your knees, then to down dog. Just maybe notice how you feel in this down dog, the shoulders, the neck. Take a nice expansive breath and exhale. We're going to do that whole routine on the opposite side now. So when you're ready, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bring it through, warrior 2. Float the arms up, spiral up. Bend the knees, look for that heel arch alignment. Press into the feet, activate fingertips, shoulder blades down, fingertips forward. Sink a little bit lower. Good. Now we do that little flow movement as we inhale, arms up, straighten both legs. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior 2. One more. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, warrior 2. Side angle, left side. And again, you're going to switch on the activation, the muscle activation, as if you're hugging the legs. The chest, feel the shape. Open up the chest, breathe into the top of the chest. Feel the shape of your spine. Hold that side angle. Release the activation, stay. Stay in that shape. And then come up, all the way up to reverse warrior. Piece it out. And then come back to the front of your mat. We're going to do one last vinyasa. So take your time, come through a nice slow vinyasa. Chaturanga Dandasana, Urva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From down dog, bring the knees down to the floor, back to all fours. You're going to come all the way down on your belly for that shoulder and hip twist on the left side. So left arm out to the left and right leg crosses over the leg. The right knee can be bent or stay across the body. Feel that shoulder, hip twist. Perhaps both knees can be bent. See how you go. I'm going to take 3 breaths here. One more breath. And then you're going to roll back onto your belly. Come up onto the knees into child's pose. And we're going to go for another back bend. So take the arms back, turn the palms up and squeeze. And then like a camel back bend, standing back, so back, a little further back. Hold, stretch, feel you're standing on your knees. Lift. And then come back, sit on your heels. Square the hips off. And take the left arm underneath the right for eagle pose. Let's activate by pulling this eagle apart. Squeeze the shoulders in. Take a breath in and still doing the activation. And lift the chest muscle up and belly retracts. And squeeze. And lift the elbows up a little higher. And find that resistance as you pull it apart. You bring it back together and you're breathing freely. And then release the activation. Stay there for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then release the arms into the air and then onto your belly again. Let's try a cobra to see how much we've opened up the shoulders. And again, take the arms wide, lift up, come up. Engage your belly, pull the hands and the elbows back and squeeze. Hold, and then slowly, slowly come all the way down. We're going to do another locust. So take the arms back towards your hips, lift the chest, lift the arms. We're switching off on that back body again. Make it strong, stretch it, feel it, lengthen. And release all the way down. Good, come back onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders. Cat-cow, inhale. Exhale. So from all fours, take your left leg back, bend the left knee, look over your right shoulder, open up your hips, open up the hip and then bring it behind the leg into a shoelace. Again, we're going to do cat-cow. Breathe in to come up, exhale to go a little bit back, activate. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, tighten up the glutes, squeeze that eagle legs and then release all the way back into your shoelace. And again, perhaps you stay upright, or if you can, come forward. Rest, breathe, stay. We're going to go into this deep, deep wisdom. To honor this in the form of a mantra. To know that you are the teacher within. And Sanskrit is a beautiful language, especially for mantra. It has this vibrational kind of feeling. So the Sanskrit For the Guru within is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So perhaps you can quietly say Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So just repeat this mantra a few more times for the teacher within. And just breathe. And let's take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. You've got 2 more breaths. Make it deep, long, slow, subtle, natural breath. One more breath. And then you're going to slowly come out of that shoelace. Uncross, come on onto all fours, cat, cow, and into downward facing dog. Then come back into a slow plank. Come all the way down onto your belly, all the way the whole body onto the belly. We're going to bring the right knee bent to the right side of the body. Left arm comes under the shoulders. So the hands are palm to palm again. We go into that twist, open up the right side, open up the right arm. We're going to go back to the activation again, engaging the bottom leg. And then that bent knee, you're going to press it up and down, the arms away from each other. So here's the thing, muscle loves to contract. They don't really like to be stretched. So collapsing too much is not so good for your body. So better to open up the body, stay in the twist, and now you're going to chill. Completely relaxed to receive this pose. You're going to stay here, let the mind find a natural freedom. As if you're creating joy in your body. Letting go. The mind becomes still. Again, you're going to relax into this super state. Let the mind find a natural state, this super healing state. Let any tension go as you attune to your breath. We come into trust, the Shraddha, we anchor into trust. You now remember who you are. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat meaning truth. Chit meaning energy or consciousness. Ananda meaning bliss. So again, you can repeat this mantra in your last twist here before we come into Shavasana. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Silently chanting the mantra. From truth, energy, comes bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Couple more times. And then release the twist, and this time set yourself up for Shavasana. Come onto your back, feet flopped apart, arms lay loosely by your side. We're going to close the practice with another activation. So you're going to take a slow breath in. We're going to hold the breath and we're going to tense the whole body. I'll describe some of it. So make fist with your hands, clench your teeth, pulse your lips, frown, squeeze your belly in, engage your spine, engage your legs, flex your feet, hold it all in, feel the tension. Allow your body to be tense all over. And then relax, let it all go. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And now just simply relax. So our journey has no end. We're constantly learning, growing, and expanding. There's always a new insight to be had. So just sense your body smiling rather than screaming after this practice. Perhaps you get a warm, joyful smile in your heart. Who are you not to be amazing? So it's said we don't smile because we're happy. We're happy because we smile. So perhaps you rest in your inner smile. Just continue to let go, let be in this moment. Relaxing your legs, relaxing your arms, relaxing your spine. Soften your belly, soften your face, relax your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, your neck, your throat. Your heart is open and receptive. You feel heavy into the earth as you sink deeper and deeper and deeper still. Let everything go. Nothing to do, to think about. Just be here now, in this moment. And just continue to rest in Shavasana. Good, and then bring your arms above your head, wriggle your toes, wrinkle your fingers, stretch them out, have a big yawn. Take your time, stretch out, and then roll over to one side, bend the knees like a fetal position. Stay there and breathe. Maybe you support your head with the underneath arm. Just bring this blessing, the healing, when you're ready to come up to sitting. Maybe you sit cross-legged and lengthen your spine from the base to the crown. Good, and as always, I thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Bring your hands into a prayer position, Anjali Mudra at your heart space. Then bring it up to your third eye center. Make the arms wide. Bring it back to your heart space. Bring your chin towards your chest. Hope this practice nurture you and you feel blessed. Namaste.